In the high, wind-lashed slopes of California's Sierra Nevada mountains, a town lies frozen in time. Once a bustling, gold-mining boom town, Bodie now stands abandoned, its buildings decaying, its streets silent. But those who walk through Bodie say it isn't truly empty. They say Bodie remembers, and Bodie does not forgive. Chapter 1. Gold and Blood. Bodie explodes into life after the discovery of a massive gold vein. Miners flood in from every direction, dreams of riches burning in their eyes. Overnight, the desolate slopes transform into a chaotic, thriving hub of vice and greed. Saloons, brothels, gambling dens, all rise alongside hastily built homes and mining shafts. The thirst for gold outweighs any sense of morality. Violence becomes routine. Murder is common. They say you could get shot for winning a card game. Sheriff Hank Dobson, a war-hardened man with a limp and a reputation for justice, arrives to restore order, but finds Bodie beyond taming. He arrests a man for stabbing another over whiskey, but the townspeople nearly lynch him for it. Dobson soon realizes that Bodie is governed not by laws, but by something far older and darker. A preacher, Father Mallory, rides in and calls Bodie a den of devils. He tries to hold sermons, but few attend. Strange whispers haunt his nights. He wakes one evening with scratches on his arms, 3 long, deep lines. Soon, locals begin reporting bizarre phenomena. Lamps light themselves in the dead of night. Empty chairs rock by invisible hands. One prospector swears he saw his dead brother calling to him from a mine shaft. The Standard Mine is struck with a mysterious cave-in. 2 men vanish without a trace. Rumors swirl of tunnels that shift and walls that bleed. Some say the gold is cursed. Others whisper that Bodie itself is alive. Chapter 2. The Widow's Grin. She first appears during a thunderstorm. A woman in black, pale-faced with hollow eyes and a smile too wide for her face. The barkeep of the Brass Lantern Saloon is closing for the night when he sees her through the window. She doesn't move. She simply smiles. 2 days later, he's found dead, eyes bulged, mouth stretched into a permanent scream. She becomes known as the Widow. No one knows her name. No one dares follow her. Yet she's seen in alleyways, church pews, even standing silently beside beds at night. A young girl vanishes after saying she saw the widow dancing in the cemetery. Her doll is found hanging from a tree the next morning. Father Mallory grows desperate. He attempts to perform a town-wide blessing, ringing the old bell and urging citizens to gather. As he chants the final Latin phrase, the church windows explode inward. Screams erupt. The pews ignite. Mallory swears he saw the widow seated in the back, weeping blood. After that, no one speaks her name aloud. They say it gives her power. Chapter 3. The Mine That Breathes. The Standard Mine becomes the epicenter of fear. Miners report a humming sound that seems to come from deep underground, a low, rhythmic sound like the breath of a sleeping beast. 2 men, Keller and Mason, decide to explore the mine's lower tunnels. They descend past the safety markers. Hours pass. Then screams echo up the shaft. Only Mason returns. His eyes are wild, hair snow white. He collapses in the street, muttering about a chamber of bones and something watching from the dark with eyes made of fire. The mine is closed. But at night, townsfolk claim to hear picks striking stone, though no one is inside. One man sees a pale hand clawing from the entrance before vanishing into the soil. Sheriff Dobson attempts to seal the mine with dynamite. The explosion collapses the entrance, but the humming continues. That night, his house burns to the ground. Only his badge is found, melted into the floor. Chapter 4. Children of the Dust. Children begin acting strangely. They speak in languages no one recognizes. They draw intricate symbols in the dust outside their homes, circles within circles, surrounded by jagged lines. One child, Amelia Brooks, vanishes during a dust storm. Her parents search every building. Days later, they find her seated in the schoolhouse, eyes completely black, mouth sewn shut with coarse twine. She is still breathing. They try to remove the twine, but she begins to scream without sound. Blood pours from her ears. Then she stops breathing. Other children follow. They whisper in the corners, speaking of the black thing in the earth and Mother Widow. Several families flee Bodie under cover of night. Weeks later, their wagon is found overturned. Every member is dead, their tongues missing, eyes gouged, hands fused together in prayer. Nailed to a tree nearby, a message carved into wood. Body claims its own. Chapter 5. The Keeper. A towering figure appears on the outskirts of town. Cloaked in miner's garb, his helmet melted into his skull, his eyes flickering with blue flame. Locals name him the Keeper. A bounty hunter, curious and arrogant, confronts him one night with a rifle. The next morning, only boots remain, neatly arranged at the town limits. Blood overflows from them, soaking into the soil. The legend grows. The Keeper was once Jeb Rourke, a greedy miner who betrayed his crew and caused a cave-in that buried them all. They say he clawed his way out, reborn as the mine's eternal guardian. The town avoids the outskirts. But sometimes, late at night, the Keeper walks through Bodie. His footsteps make the ground tremble. Windows shatter in his wake. He never speaks. But if you look into his eyes, you die in your dreams. Chapter 6. The Bodie Curse. The Bodie Curse becomes infamous. Tourists, drifters, and even fortune seekers vanish. Those who dare steal from the mines, nails, coins, even stones, suffer horrific fates. A gambler named Lynch pockets a small gold nugget. That night, he's found hanging from the church steeple, spine twisted backward. Father Mallory performs a desperate ritual, an exorcism fueled by fire and scripture. As he chants, shadows pour from the walls. His voice rises in agony. When silence returns, the church is empty. All that remains is his Bible, open to a page scrawled in blood, mine. The townspeople try to destroy the church, but when they set it ablaze, the fire turns and consumes them instead. From that night on, no one dares enter Bodie after dark. Chapter 7. Black Snow. Inexplicably, a snowstorm descends in early June, but it isn't snow, it's ash, black oily flakes that fall from a cloudless sky. The town wakes to find everything covered in soot. The air smells of burnt flesh. Those who inhale the ash begin to hallucinate. They see things moving through the walls. They hear laughter from underground. One woman locks herself in her root cellar and won't come out, claiming her children have been replaced by dust things with hollow eyes. The town doctor tries to explain it as hallucination, airborne poison, he claims. But when he cuts open a sample of the snow, it bleeds. 3 men attempt to leave Bodie. They vanish into the storm. Only their horses return, riderless, foaming at the mouth, their eyes plucked out. At night, the Keeper walks openly through the streets, trailing black snow in his wake. And behind him, figures rise from the earth, men and women who died long ago. They knock on doors, they call out to loved ones, and some are let in. By morning, 7 more are dead. Chapter 8. The Silencing. A suffocating fog rolls in, so thick it chokes candles and snuffs out lanterns. With it comes the silence. One by one, people lose their voices. First the children, then the adults. Panic grows, but no one can scream. One man tries to flee on foot, carrying a bell to signal his escape. He returns the next day, eyes burned out, the bell melted into his flesh. Whispers fill the fog, echoes of past sins, of dying breaths, of last prayers. Some claim to hear confessions from people long dead. Others say the town itself speaks now. Carved into the walls of the saloon are words no one admits to writing. Body belongs to the dead. We are only renting space. By week's end, the fog is permanent. The sun never rises. The town grows colder, quieter. Those who survive retreat indoors, hiding from the voices and the figures that drift through the streets at night. And Bodie breathes on. Chapter 9. Last Light. The last survivors hatch a desperate plan. Led by the blacksmith's daughter, Clara Maddox, a brave, sharp-eyed woman untouched by the silence, they gather dynamite from the mining storehouse. They plan to collapse the mine entirely, to bury the evil beneath tons of rock. As they descend into the mine for the final time, they find symbols etched into the walls, ancient, glowing faintly. The air smells of sulfur and rot. Voices plead with them to stop. The dead reach out from behind collapsed beams. They set the charges and flee. The mine erupts in a roar that shakes the mountains. Smoke pours from the earth like a volcano. For days, it burns. When a rescue team arrives weeks later, sent from Carson City, they find the town exactly as it was. Warm food still sits on tables. Candles flicker in windows. A poker game is frozen mid-hand. But not a single soul remains. No bodies, only silence. And in the distance, the faint sound of breathing. Epilogue. The curse never left today. Bodie stands in a state of arrested decay. A museum of ghosts. Visitors walk the dusty streets, peer into windows, snap photos, but they are warned. Take nothing. Not a stone, not a nail, not a shard of glass. The Bodie Curse is still real. Mail arrives at the park office from across the country. Packages returning items stolen from the town. Alongside are letters. Since I took this rock, I've been in 3 accidents. I see a woman in my mirror. I hear breathing in my walls. One letter is written in blood-red ink. She smiles every night. She's waiting for me. Another package contains a melted watch and a note. The mine still breathes. I saw the keeper. So when you visit Bodie, look. Don't touch. Listen. But don't answer. Because the town may be dead. But the dead still listen.